Hello, guys. Welcome to another Match from Nerdum podcast. A triple issue, but this one is a special one because we're talking all about Endgame, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the really good. So, yeah, you guys can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brandon, the founder of this, and yeah, 2 billion Suck it Snyder
And
I'm
special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Hello, special guest.
Moving on, man.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about what we liked about the movie. So, Rin, you can go first.
The movie was actually a really good movie. Actually, there's some flaws in it. I'm gonna say is that I love it.
I enjoyed it.
He stole the show. He stole the show.
yeah. I have to agree.
But, yeah, special guest, you want to tell us a few things that you liked about the movie?
Yeah, I can say that having remembered like sitting in the theater the first time I've seen Iron Man until this point of Endgame. Flaws and all, I loved the movie. I'd say, a lot of people are saying in comparison that Infinity War is a better film. I think both game are two movies that you have to wait. You can't just sit there and watch it. It's the end. It's like the season finale of an. And for what it's worth, I enjoyed the movie very. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I liked all the decisions they made for the most part, and yeah, Cap stole the show for me. He was my favorite character in the MCU. Yeah, I'd have to say I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Some of the things I liked about the movie, I liked how characters that weren't really given much development were given development, such as Black Widow and all these characters. All in all, I love the movie. I didn't notice the flaws, and this was a damn good movie, and it was a really great finale to the Avengers saga.
Yeah. Well, since I guess we all agree that there are flaws, if they be minor or whatever. I guess since we all enjoyed it, we should go over flaws first.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
It felt like he was like a cameo, like a special guest.
Yeah, it was weird. The whole like A-Force moment with her like leading the. That scene kind of shoehorned in because it's like she comes in. I guess we're talking about the ending, but she comes in and her entrance is awesome. But like, there's the moment where Peter Parker says like, "How are you going to get through that army of people?" And then everybody says like, "Oh, she's not alone." But like, you do not just see her blow up an entire ship. Like, it's like I feel like it's that moment.
Okay, I guess we're in technical difficulties.
I get what he means, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it did feel like they forced that in there to be like, hey, look, we got female diversity.
Yeah.
And it's like, I enjoyed the scene, but I just feel like they shoehorned that in. Like, they were like, oh, we need Captain Marvel to have some type of big standing out moment. So here, we'll have her and all of them. But, what you were saying, my bad, I didn't cut you off.
Oh no! You were that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, it was just like, she's in it, so here it is. And it's like, yeah, okay, but at the same time, it's like there's so many other female heroes that we've been with that moment a little more. For what it's worth, again, minor flaw. It didn't take me out of anything.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't.
I could tell that there was like scenes deleted in the film, throughout like start to finish.
Yeah, definitely.
Like when did Hawkeye became Ronin? Where's that scene? Decided to become a mercenary, killing bad guys. Where's where we find out Pepper's pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
And then the
I
whole,
I feel like all those scenes were there, and those are those ones that are like, on the cutting room floor of like, didn't see the process of it. But like, as far as Ronin, I wish like there was just like one more scene of just understanding like how he went. Like, I like the scene between Black Widow and Rhodey a lot. Like that, him saying basically like, I don't want to find him.
Yeah.
Like, he's so far gone. And that, the scene when they're in tow, that was amazing. But it's like, I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more of like the aftermath of what Ronin has been doing.
I would like to see what Cap did in 1970s if he did go to that timeline.
Yeah.
I want to see Peggy's reaction when she's like, "Oh shit, you're alive."
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that would be like a great moment for Endgame. She's like, "Okay, Steve got his happiness."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like that's a big flaw that everybody's talking about is the end of Cap, going back in time, quote unquote. Right. It's like it's weird, but it's like it's one of those things where like, yeah, you could just say like he did those things, but like, they set it up to say like, yeah, basically Captain America is the reason why you're gonna have a multiverse in the MCU now. But at the same time, it's like, what point did you go back in time? Did you stay in that point? Did you allow Peggy Carter to get married so that she could have a niece? Like, is it like this certain things? It's like
MCU, like, okay, we're gonna fuck up the timeline, but we're not gonna do the whole basic the way you step on something fucks up in the future.
It's like they didn't even follow their own rules with the timeline when it came to the ending.
Oh yeah, and they shove that in your face. Like they have that entire moment movie, and they bring up movies that all don't really follow.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, didn't they ever do better in the future? So wouldn't he still just be there? Cause he would automatically have to stay, but there would still be a Captain America that's young, still in that timeline.
I'm wondering too how he got old. Did he remove the super soldier serum? Did they find a cure for it? Or, I mean, I know they did that in the comic. He got old in the main timeline.
I'm wondering. They never explained it. They just simply let him have his happy ending. Which again, I'm not mad about. I'm just like. Cause I'm like, they could have explained that a bit better.
Just a little. I guess they felt like no one cared at that point.
Yeah, like everybody's like thinks that Marvel was fat shaming Thor. They weren't. It's the sight of being human and being depressed at something. You feel like it's your fault.
Thor being like my second to third favorite character. Like, I loved everything they did. Yeah, at first I feel like I really did. I liked during the end fight he didn't just like zap back to normal. It was like, no, I looked like a Viking. His mom said, like, it really doesn't matter. Like, it was because Chris Hemsworth, like, he was going to quit like after Age of Ultron because he was like, I'm kind of bored with this character. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not going nowhere. Nobody really seems to like care. And after the Dark World, just seems to be going downhill. So he changed it up, and it's kind of it was like that's the conversation. Like, do I have to be whatever it is? Like, it's like, nah, just be a good person. And that's he puts his hand out, fat as shit, here it comes to him. It was like, you know, I loved it. That was a dope character arc. I thought it was well, I don't feel like that was a flaw. It wasn't. I feel like they kind of carried over the Ragnarok, where it was toned like, you know, we have this serious, but a lot of silly things going on in the background, and Thor's now like the comedic relief. But like in this one, it actually played really well.
My only problem, it's not even the characters, it's how people react to it. Like, dude, you're not gonna be the same person. Because we were complaining, it was like, they turned Thor into a joke. Well, no, that's generally, you feel like he messed up.
Right.
They told him to develop throughout.
Exactly. If he joked the old time, like, sure, but no, it was legitimate reason. The movie starts with him getting his revenge and it not meaning anything. That's a big deal. Like, that's a big deal. And then it means nothing. He saved no one, everyone, and he doesn't feel like the hero anymore. He definitely doesn't feel like the king of his people. Like, sitting around fat as shit. He's 1,500 years old. He's just gonna get fat. Like, like I liked it.
Because it's like, it wasn't even a problem for me because I enjoyed seeing his character grow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I admit it. He was a boring character in this movie. And then Ragnarok bumped it up. Infinity War, you know, when he came in during the middle of the battle of Wakanda, that's when he's like, okay, you're badass. And then when Endgame, you know, he joins in with Cap, I don't know, trying to beat the shit out of Thanos, and then seeing him like struggle, like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. That's when you realize, you know what, Thor is done. He's gonna retire. You know, pretty much it shows the ending, like he's done being a god. He's gonna be, you know, himself, not the perfection that he's expected to be. But I gotta admit though, I do like how he reacted with Cap being happy.
Yes, I love that moment. It was a perfect, you know, MCU, you know, fan service moment. His reaction was all of our reaction, and it was, you know, it just made the moment even better.
He's just like, I do it. He's like, I do it. Cap beat the shit out of Thanos.
Yeah. And it's
real quick.
Oh yeah. Every, you know, people, I don't know. I went to like a late showing on a Saturday, so like, I guess my theater wasn't as enthusiastic because like, when that happened, everyone lost.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's awesome because like, no matter what you think about Captain America, no matter what the serum did, it just made him a stronger person. Like, he's still the person that he is from Brooklyn. So the fact that he's calling down lightning, it's just badass.
That was a dope, like really dope moment for me. And like, it was towards the end because I feel like the beginning had this. It was like cool moments. It felt slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and I feel like it was purposely slow. Like, I feel like watching, you'll have more appreciation for the beginning, and I feel like if they had more money, which, I mean, they have all the money right now. If they had more confidence, like the first third of this movie would have been its own film. No action, no third act, set piece or anything like that. It was just been the fall of what happened, like, catching up with everyone and seeing what's going on in between, the Avengers disassembled, like, just dealing with what happens after the detonation.
Yeah. I feel like with the slower build-up, and like, cause I've seen it twice, I appreciated it with the slower build-up because I'm like, I know what's coming. It's a big thing that's about to happen.
Yeah. When you're sitting there for like 2 hours, it's just like, okay, guys.
It's coming. Then when it comes, you're like, there we go, that's the payoff.
You're like, oh, wait, I wasn't ready. Like,
yeah, like you weren't expecting that. Like, you're like, oh, shit, everybody's here.
No. Yeah, and it's crazy because when I've been judging the MCU. I did the marathon like last year before Infinity War came out. It definitely didn't feel like this year. But I've been going back and watching certain ones, and I've been judging them, and I've been trying to figure out like the ones I don't like. Is it because of my expectations, or is it because of the quality of the film, or is it because of how it fits in the MCU as a whole? And this movie kind of like it really does shut down. Like if you had expectations for the film, second time watching it, you're going to love it even more. If you had no expectations for the film, you're just going to be a wreck by the time you end. And I like that they kind of stick with that ending journey.
Cause like I'm not there was no part of the movie that I was disappointed.
Right.
There
They
was
did
a point
something new and unexpected, and I'm like, you know what? That's fine.
Cause I was like, there were points where I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like with Captain Marvel and stuff, but it was like, other than that, she was the only character I was like, I don't care. And Ren's mom is getting his dog. I think they lost the dog.
Nah, he's being a little bitch.
That's funny. I have a kitten playing on my chest, and I'm trying to keep.
It's okay, we're not a professional podcast.
So, I don't think after we saw Endgame, I don't see MCU getting better than this.
Yeah, I don't know where to and our special be right back, but anymore. It's like you did the gigantic epic thing I can see is like the X-Men, but even so, we're not super hyped.
Mm-hmm.
It's like me, I'm done with MCU watching their after Spider-Man because I don't feel like they can outdo this. I mean, look how much money it made, look how much hype it brought, how people were trying so hard to avoid spoilers. I don't think we might get that money again. So they're like, Avengers movies,
They'll never reach this, like, you know, I mean, which is a good and bad thing. They'll never reach this, like today as we're having this conversation. You know, it's only been out for like, what, 10 days now? It's not even weeks, and it's already beaten Titanic.
And Avatar.
They'll never get this.
And Avatar.
Right, well, yeah, they're about, I'm saying worldwide, it's beaten Titanic. That's crazy. Like, it's getting to a point, everyone's going to go see a Marvel film regardless. You know, it might not be connected like these are because, you know, that's why they're kind of making their multiverse now.
Yeah.
It'll never reach this, which is kind of why when I was in this, they didn't really have an after credit scene. I wasn't too upset because I'm like, okay, that's it. Iron Man, Endgame, all for now. I'm okay. These other movies and, you know, MCU because I'm waiting for the next movie to come out.
I feel like now after credit scene was a good way to end because it's like I think the end of something like you can't it can like bring up a bunch of continuing like plot points. What are they gonna have like them all eating shawarma again?
Probably. And it's like, oh, that's a hint.
Like, I'm curious to see how far from home's gonna be like, especially in the timeline where they're in 2020 something. They've missed 5 years of their life. Everybody's growing up.
It was crazy because when I first saw for Far From Home, you know, everyone was, you know, like, oh, is this a spoiler for Endgame? I'm like, I was under the impression that it was after, or not after, but it's still before Infinity War. Like, I was just thinking that this was something that, and I guess that's how they kind of wanted it to look, but they're saying that the decimation, like, they're going to deal with people that were still alive, you know, when Peter was around, and they're 5 years older, and, you know, some of them are in college stuff, so I don't know. I interesting, because Sony is still not, you know, it has its own world too, like Spider-Man and what have no idea what they're doing. And I kind of like that for once. I was just watching the video of it was 24 was announcing all the films like Civil War and Captain was before Age of Ultron was coming out.
Yeah.
It's it's insane that aside from the names of a couple movies, like they now are making billions on billions of dollars. Like, yeah, you guys can take a break.
Like, even looking at Spider-Man Far From Home, like they said that even he's traumatized to wear the suit again.
Yeah.
Seeing that, like, even when we look in the trailer, and he's like, "Oh, you forgot your suit." He's like, "I don't think they really need Spider-Man right now."
And now I get that because it's like, oh yeah, you got dusted, came back, and your best friend died. Like, it's like, okay.
It's like
I'm not doing this again.
it reminds me of Fear itself. How, like, he revealed why he cracks jokes because he's fucking scared. And I'm hoping Far From Home does that. He starts cracking more jokes, and then he tells his best friend that he's dusted. He hung back after being dusted. How he feels when he's a superhero. Sacrifice. We see shit. We see like Into the Spider-Verse. We see how Peter was.
Yeah.
Struggling marriage, divorce, and all that. And it's like, are we gonna finally see that? Finally see like Peter being human.
The struggle.
And
that was a big Homecoming complaint. Is that like Homecoming is kind of like the movie that really isn't about anything. It has a really good plot twist, but like Peter doesn't really go through anything, and that's why like on first viewing, like I love the movie. I was laughing. It was unexpectedly funny. I wasn't thinking that I needed another Spider-Man movie, for however long, but it was a movie that kind of you could tell it's playing it safe. You really did just watch a 2-hour episode of Spider-Man without it having to introduce anything, and it's kind of like I hope that they actually are safe enough to get into this Spider-Man's life, especially when you have a movie as good as Into the Spider-Verse, where you have introductions to multiple Spider-Man characters that you now care for. It's like, okay, now this Peter Parker, how do we care about him outside of the event?
Yeah.
And it's like the one really good thing about Into the Spider-Verse is that it introduces Miles in a way that he's a different character. Peter's a different character. These are characters that don't have very much in common except they're Spider-Man. But they learn to work together. They have one common goal, and that's one thing I like. When it comes to Far From Home, I'm just hoping they give Peter with the moment that we see where he's not, but when he's having a hard time.
Yeah. What is it about the and the joke making? What is it hiding? Like he kind of has those moments, but it's quickly undercut by action. Or him just talking about someone else specifically. It's like, yeah, we've seen Peter Parker have a crush with him. We've seen Peter Parker be told he has to go on a mission. It's like, what does this do to Peter Parker? Like, now it's time to get these kids that, there are kids out there that this is their, Tom Holland Spider-Man is their first Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Now it's time to show them what it is about Peter. Makes him, lifting a car, swinging around the city.
I want him to be like how Tony was in Iron Man 3, where post-traumatic stress disorder triggers because of the invasion of New York. I want Peter.
That was the best character in Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
His PTSD was the best character.
I want to see Peter actually being overwhelmed, he's panicking. Ultra was just the beginning, but now that he's facing something bigger than Ultra, like Thanos, I want to realize, there's to be other people being out there. I gotta be a better hero. I can't just be human beings with illusions and magic. above Thanos.
Right. Now let's. I think that's an important important character to talk about. Since being end of the first Avengers till his ultimate demise, what do you feel like the handling of Thanos between comic book now? Because we haven't really seen Thanos, in media, other than like, his appearance in some video games and whatnot. So like, how do you feel now that his character has been introduced and now ended? How do you feel like he's been handled?
I think they handled him really well. I mean, I would not like to see that he did it for a woman, death. That would be too boring. Like this one.
Right, exactly.
Like the Thanos, he had a role, he had motivation. But I wish they would explore his past. What made him realize society sucks? It needs to be like half.
When it came to the handling of Thanos, I thought they made him more interesting because, as Ren said, they gave him a goal and motivation. He was doing it just for death, and he was doing it because his planet pretty much was like, yeah, we're not, so we're gonna screw you over, and that planet got overpopulated and eventually ended. So it's like Thanos is sitting there like, well, fuck, what do I do now? Collect all the Infinity Stones and wipe out half. And I like that.
Right.
Interesting. And it wasn't like he was doing it personal. Every time, he never took it personal.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting having a villain that, yeah, he's evil, yeah, he's doing it, but he's not like doing it because, hey, I'm just gonna mess with the heroes because I don't like them.
Exactly. I feel like I like Thanos, like Infinity Gauntlet is one of the most dramatic crossovers of Marvel history, and when it comes to him in that comic, it is more of his feats that are a little more interesting than his reasoning for doing it. And I think when I was in the theater in 2012, and I was one of like 6 people in the theater that like lost their shit when they saw him at the end. They were like, okay, who the heck is this? And now to think that like people are thinking, they're talking about him, or now that he's so well written that people are comparing him to Heath Ledger's Joker and Darth Vader. Like I think they really did give him, in the small amount of time that they did with the one film, Infinity War, they really did insight into why he is doing, even if it's a terrible idea. It at least they do a good job of making you believe that he believes what he's doing is right.
Because he was, what you're gonna say, Ren?
Like he did mention to Gamora how her home planet, there's no more salvation, there's no more rewarding stuff that usually is in a society. It became beautiful. It wasn't going to live. It wasn't going to live. Gamora said, no, you destroy us. And you'll have to. The thing is, she has a point, and Thanos has a point. They were kind of going hungry when he was
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy because in Endgame, it's weird when you have a film where they show you between 2 films, Infinity War and Endgame. It's rare that you see a villain's plan fully understood and realized. Like Thanos won. He did what he set out to do, and even in the end, he saw the and it led to his demise. But coming back and talking to Black Widow, where he was like, I saw whales in the Hudson River, and she's like, yo, wow, really? And he's like, yeah, like he left boats and stuff. And she's like, you're not about to tell me like look on the brighter side of it. Like Thanos was correct. There was more, for
you saw sort of a contrast between those 2 ideas, because in Infinity War, he described it like it had, and like You look at population. Population is going okay when you see the aftermath of Endgame, you start noticing like food is missing, animals are missing, so there's not as much food to go around, which kind of contradicts his plan of no and no food and plants were also disintegrated. So it's like no, it'll be like okay, we can't eat animals, but the plants that was like half of it going. Like you see, these people are living off of peanut butter.
Exactly. And filling up the street, like, and he says that when walking up to him, he was like, my plan, the younger Thanos is like, obviously I'm seeing that, I'm thanking you guys for letting me see. Doesn't really work. There's always going to be people who don't appreciate what I did for them, so I'm just going to start. Like you're writing your villain twice, and that's pretty awesome. Like you're using the Thanos in Infinity War where it trips off his armor, and because he's collecting stones, he doesn't need to be battle ready. He's the hero, and his plan is becoming. Realize I'm about to don't need my armor or my hues, but in Endgame, this is the younger one who is battle ready. He's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna, and I like that you still have that comparison between this person. It's still very much the same. You see both.
You do see his strength. You do see his strength without the gauntlet.
Okay,
that's what made me happy.
Completely, and I love that the entirety of the Avengers with his army, but still like just with his Infinity Sword, which is fun. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's an Easter egg that I like. I was when they first showed his sword, people were like, well, "What does he need the sword for?" I was like, "Okay, so for whatever gauntlet." But I was like, I want to twirl that thing like a propeller, and someone asked me why, and I was like, because of the Thanos chopper. Like, I was like, that's, and I was so when he did it, I was like, there it is, Thanos chopper. He twirled it. I don't know what mechanics he had in that thing, but he definitely swirled it around. They were like, no, we're putting the helicopter. This is too good.
Full helicopter, but it will be
where he's going to make a propeller somewhere around him.
Here's the thing. Do you guys feel like they like cheated on Johansson?
I got some words.
So when Captain Marvel came out and they were like freaking out, those people, I'm not going to sit here and say it was too many more people than it actually was. So when people were freaking out saying that, the movie is important because it's the first female-led, MCU film, it's like, okay, understood. However, Iron Man 2, like, she has been in this universe since Iron Man 2, and she has been kicking ass since Iron Man 2. And say what you will, it is still pretty amazing to this day to watch the first Avengers movie and see her flying around with gods and superheroes, a Glock. Like, she's amazing, and she deserved to have a movie years ago, especially now that we have all these like female-led espionage films where it's like, where's her, one action sequence in the hallway? Like, she should have had it. Her scene, I think, in Infinity, I've been trying to think like her, or where she's fighting in the end battle. I'm like, would I have rather that happen in? I kind of do. I feel like she was kind of cheated. Like, I like the scene where they went to Vor, even if, you probably should have had Nebula save. But yeah, like, make sure you take some level. But like, I don't know. Like, I feel like she was kind of cheated. I like her moment, when she was talking to Kat and she was saying like, this is her family. Like, really have anybody else or have anyone else. they kind of made her character go into Clint's character arc, and it kind of it knocked her down a few pegs, and I don't. I wish they found some other way of.
What I gotta say on this shit, Nebula, first of all, you did everybody dirty by not telling us what's happening with the copy. She knew it. It was before someone tells me she was legit about to tell the other Gamora, you wanna know what happens to you? And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, so you're gonna dig everybody out. Second, I feel like they didn't have to kill her. They only did it because Captain Marvel character. And I feel like Black Widow, she's earned her place as our special guest has said. She is legit one of the best MCU characters that I enjoyed before Spider-Man. She was out here the only person with a 2 guns, and she barely used the gun.
And tasers. And tasers.
They could have just killed her off and had 2 people. Killed her off and plain things. An honorary death. Not like, okay, she's gonna sacrifice herself. For what? She didn't lose much compared to Clint.
Yeah, I mean, I get the whole decision. Like when they were on the mountain, like I got it. I was like, okay, one of them is about to die. I was like, it's not going to be Clint though, and that kind of was pissing me off because I was like, I know she's about to die, and it was like, okay, I love Clint and his family. Like since Thor, I have liked Jeremy Renner as Clint Barton. That was a complete surprise to me. I remember being in the theater and still being excited. But in comparison, I love her leagues more. It's just in that moment, I knew that the decision was going to be she was going to die. I really would have figured out during the battle, maybe, yes. And even the way that they handled it when it was the 5 of them talking, like, does she have family we can contact? No, we're her family. Like, oh no, let's go back to Vormir and talk. That's the only moment they had for her. Like, where was her funeral? Like, she was important. And like, yeah, she was a spy, but at the end of Winter Soldier, she released all the information to everybody and told the government to kiss her ass, like Falcon. Yeah. Like she's an important character for the MCU. Like as far as character arc, she was killing people. She was an assassin, and now she is like the leader in the Endgame. She's the leader of the event.
I also noticed something really weird though.
Moving to my next point, they gave her a bullshit ass funeral by a fucking river, and only like 4 people came.
It was just them. It was just the 5. And Hulk threw back.
That's all he did was throw. That's how they remember her. Oh man, you guys remember that one time when Black Widow died? I hope that was crazy. Like that's all you're gonna get at. I went from sad to I'm pissed off in like 2 minutes.
And it wasn't their fault, but like Hawkeye's line was almost a little I feel like if they allowed Jeremy Renner to say like fuck or something, like it would have been probably a little better done. But like he's like, no, why don't you go to the mountain and talk to the red guy and you tell him? It's like that was almost funny. It should have been handled a little better. Like it's Black Widow. She's been in as many movies as like it's like she deserves better than that.
What I find funny is like what happened to the whole, somebody can talk to the Soul Stone. Like I'm hearing theories. I'm hearing theories. Like, oh, she's in the Soul Stone with Gamora. I'm like, they're dead though. I'm like, they're dead.
No, they're dead.
So there's no way they're in there.
Again, when Peter got back here, like, I don't know what happened. All I know is that I woke up and suddenly it's been 5 years. I'm like, yeah, he didn't know. Dead. Otherwise, he would have told us about a cool soul.
Yeah, they could have said something about the Soul Stone too. They could have been like, oh, we're inside this dimension or something like limbo or whatever. No, they changed the stuff.
They changed to make it a little simpler. Again, like if they had more movies, they probably would have gotten into what the Soul Stone actually does, because they have yet to explain it, other than you kind of just put 2 and 2 together and go like, oh, if he's gonna snap everyone to be dead, I guess we need a Soul Stone. But like, there are these prelude comments where explain like where the Avengers have been like between Civil War and Infinity War, but Doctor Strange is talking about the Soul Stone, and he says the most powerful of the stones. But again, they don't really explain what it does. I like. I mean, I guess, you know, getting into the stone, the whole time travel. The ancient one was explaining of them being a fixed point.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. That kind of helps, you know, as far as like, oh, you know, we do, or, you know, if they are destroyed, we can go back to a certain point. There are certain MCU rules that, you know, they kind of put in just so that the movie universe can be a little condensed. And it's like, I kind of like them. They're not too bad.
And just kind of put my perimeter with this funny little text message here between Spider-Man and Game. Whatever his name. And it's like, I'm sorry, I just keep hearing Miles every time I see a bad kid with a Spider-Man. But essentially, if you don't mind me reading it, it's just this Spider-Man, like, I'm excited for our field trip to Italy. Do you know that Brian? No, Brian's a man now. He didn't get snapped. He finished his bachelor's degrees and bought a house. You know, all you see is like, wow, good for him. He was like, he tried this through, Joe. The previous owners got snapped back, and they're kind of pissed that he lives. So you don't think you trauma, right? Nah, we're going to Italy, buddy. The whole process of how the MCU works, this is probably the most legit way it works. And
exactly.
Now, here's the thing that's making me question. You know how in Far From Home you see that Happy and May are dating? Did they get snapped, or did they?
No,
they never got snapped. Happy never got snapped.
Okay, then I'm looking forward to that. Okay, I'm looking forward to the explanation of how they hooked up.
Everybody,
right? Like over 5 years, I'm pretty sure that had to be a thing that happened, and then like Peter's back, like, whoa, wait, what the, wait, whoa.
Everybody in the theater when we went to go see the show, the Far From Home trailer. Some dude I was sitting, Peter's probably like, you fucking my aunt, bro?
I wanted toys to come out. I'm not happy.
Hey, I'm happy. Okay.
But overall, I do hope that they, show when he comes back and May's reaction to seeing him like alive. Like, I wonder if they did a funeral for him or anything,
He was like, I paid $2,000 for a casket. It's not for me to get a refund, man.
You get a Starks account. I'm sure Pepper will help him. You know.
He walked into a room on and stuff was stolen.
I wonder what Tony.
Okay, where's my Xbox?
It's like happy.
Hey, oh man, I can't find my PS4 controller. Oh yeah.
Yeah, back.
What the hell? The PlayStation 9?
I was like one of the only people in the theater, like when Hulk did this, and like Hawkeye's phone is ringing, and it's like, because you can see his wife. I'm like, damn, same phone, 5 years. Wow.
Apple must have been like, shit, everybody going anyway.
I can imagine his phone ringing like, new phone, who this? Oh, man, hey, what's happening?
I told you Japanese chick when he was going.
Right, it was all this Japanese person. Girl, that was just for,
When did you get into anime? Oh, that's not it.
Oh, no, it's not anime. It's, well, yeah, it's anime. Just
Like all the repercussions that I'm wondering. I really talked about some of them.
yeah, I need some of these repercussions. I need to know what kind of happens. Like, I want to know when people get back to work. Like, that's why I said my job. Like,
who the hell is curiosity?
I need to see somebody get like a notice that says you're fired for a week and just like, I was gone. Someone gets snapped back, they were cooking and the food is...
Can you imagine
like, what happened? Like everybody's back. Like what's going on?
Imagine
What's
Peter
wrong? Like,
goes on the date with Cassie. Pretty much the same age now.
I hope Mary Jane got snapped. Like I hope that wasn't a fake thing in the trailer. Like, okay, because like I swore for the longest that Far From Home was a fake trailer. I was ready for it. Like I was ready for anything Marvel was lying about.
And I'm just waiting for the new trailer, see what they add on now that Endgame is done.
I just want them to be like, so I was dead. That's all I remember.
So your family was dusted, and now they're back.
Yep. That makes awkward.
That is a pretty cool thought. That's a cool thought to think, like, because Spider-Man talked to Tony on the battlefield, and he's like, I was dusted, and Doctor Strange was like, hey, he needs this. That means at some point, Doctor Strange went to everyone hey, something. Just walk through this portal when I tell you to. He's like, well, what's he going to say? It's like, just hold on. It's going to be really badass. Just wait 1 second. Just everybody just come out of your portal. Like,
everybody gonna go out at the same time. Organized.
On the same time. Same time. Stay still. Hey, same time. What did you say? Do we walk through now? No, just go now. He said it. Go now.
You're about to mess with on your right, look on your right, not your left, your right, yeah.
On your right, no, it's his left, you have to,
yeah. Well, everybody,
when you go through it's gonna be, oh, damn it, go, just go.
Start to speak, Black Panther, start to chant.
Wait, how come Black Panther goes first? Are you actually asking that question?
This man was not expecting to die. Did you not see him go into the
Have you seen the movie? Well, yeah, man.
Yeah, it was an okay movie, but it was still
okay.
box office numbers.
That third act was kind of cheesy, but I don't know. Go through the portal.
At one point.
Alright, so that'll end the podcast.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you guys so much.
We end where we started.
We got so off topic. An update video is coming up this Monday, telling about where reviews are going and what are we doing. And pretty much, there's gonna be a lot more coming in the summer. School and shit gets back to us. But here guys, got any closing words?
Yeah, go watch Endgame. Fuck the Snyder Cut. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, go see Endgame again. If you saw it in 3D, go see it in 2D. If you saw it in 2D, go see it in IMAX. Watch it again.
My closing words is everybody get in an organized line. We got this going, and we're out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and peace.